Now we are going to learn how to make stuff go invisible on Hopscotch. Let's click this template button at the bottom. It will bring up this screen. Just click Create over here. You should see this. Let's be able to make something when tapped go invisible. Let's select any object. I'm going to select this bear. Position him wherever you'd want and click Add Code. Then do when it is tapped. Click on the part that says My iPad. Go to Bear, or you can click Self. There you go. Now you got your first part of your coding done. Now we have to go over to Set Invisibility. It will default to 50%, but we want that to be 100. Because 100 is completely invisible and 0 is completely visible. Let's test it. Our bear goes invisible when it is tapped. Great. We have our first part done. Now if we want it to become visible again, we can just do this. So go back into the code and go back into the block that you were editing before. Go all the way down to control flow and click this wait block. Go to, it will say wait second 0.5, that's the default. Click this button right here to delete that. You might want to put any time you'd want. You can put any time you'd like here. I'm just going to put 1 second. There. Now for 1 second, after the invisibility is set to 100%, it will wait 1 second before doing any code below that. Let's make it go visible again. Now if 100 is completely invisible, let's put 0 as completely visible. And here is our block of code. It is now complete. Now we can test it by clicking this blue play button. Let's test it. And our bear disappears and reappears again. Great, we have done it. Now, let's simulate as if the bear bumps an object, it basically makes the bear's health go away. Let's go back into this edit block. Since we know how to make it go invisible when it is tapped, let's make it so when it bumps something, it goes invisible as well. Let's select an object. I'm going to select this triangle. Let's make it so this triangle can be moved with our finger. If you'd like the simpler way, instead of coding, if in my custom rules, it will say drag me. Just click that as a simpler way. It'll have the stuff in here, so yeah. If we test it, this triangle now moves with our finger. Great. Now let's make it when bear bumps triangle, bear goes invisible. Now go back into the bear. If you want, you can delete this code because this code is no longer relevant to what we are doing right now. So go to collisions and then do when bumps. You can leave this as self, but if I were you, I'd put it as bear bumps triangle. Make sure this is in the bear. Otherwise, it will not work correctly. And let's do set visibility percent 100. Great. Now, when the triangle bumps the bear, it will set the bear's invisibility percent to 100. Or completely invisible. Let's test it. It works. Great. Now we're going to try to make it so the bear has a certain amount of health. First, go into here, scroll all the way down to custom, and click text. Set the text as anything. I'm going to set it as health. Put this wherever you'd like on the screen. I'm going to put it right here. Now go over to game and do when game starts. When game starts, do set text. Go over here, scroll all the way down to game. Yeah, go to objects and select new variable. Type it whatever you'd like. I'm going to do bear health. Make sure this is self, or you can do text, which is the same text as this. So set text to bear health. Now, you want to go down to control flow and get a repeat forever block. Drag this code inside of it, and there you go. Now this will say 0 up here. But if we go back in here, it says health. Why is that? That is because we just made this a variable. So now when the game starts, we can increase this number or decrease it, and if the number equals a certain amount, we can make it so the bear goes invisible or not visible. So it is currently 0. Go back into the health block that we made and do when game starts. Do when game starts, go to these variable blocks and do increase. Do bear health by whatever number you want. I'm going to do 100 because that makes most sense with games that have health in there. So now the bear has 100 health. Now we need to make it so when the triangle hurts the bear, it takes away his health. Now let's go in here and do when we have to go down to collisions and do when bumps. When bear bumps triangle, because that is our object, do this. Go down to variables and do increase. Increase bear health by, we want it to go negative, so we have to click this block right here. Negative. Let's do 100 just to test. Let's click play to test. Now it says up here, it's 100. Let's test it. It is now 0. Great, so that works. Let's go back in here. Let's make it decrease by 50. It works, but the bear's gone. Now we have to make it so the bear does not completely disappear until our health is all the way to 0. So now delete the invisibility % inside of here. Now go over here to check once if. Now let's do less than. Make sure it's a less than thing. Now go all the way over here in the first oval. We want to put bear health because that is the health of our bear. And less than 1, because if it is less than 1, we want our bear to go invisible. Make sure where this oval is selected in blue, make sure that is the text that is our variable, aka health for this. So check once if bear bumps triangle, check once if bear health is less than 1. If it's less than 1, let's make it completely invisible. Sorry if that was some bad explaining before. So now this bumps here. See, it does not completely eliminate the bear. But if it bumps it again, it does. Okay. Okay. So sometimes it encounters errors like that. So the simpler way is if that does not happen, just do less than. Fine. Let's see if it does this. Boom! It works. So basically, what you have to do, I found it that there's an error. So if you go in here, when bear bumps triangle, increase bear health by -50. You want to go in here and do 51. So if it takes 50 away, make sure it does 51. If it's less than 51, if it does 20, make sure it's 21. And then there you go, the bear dies. And that's how you make health for an object. You can tweak it however you want. You can do this. You can make it so that sounds. So when it dies, you can do that. See? And now plays the sound. And if you do not want that delay, so you see when it dies, there's like a delay before it disappears. If that happens, just set the weight 0.5 to 0. And now there will no longer be a delay. If you want it, so there is a sound every time it bumps it, go up here and copy this. Click right above that in between the thing in there and paste it. Then come through here and delete this start sound. There you go. Now leave that as that. Then scroll back up and do start sound 0. Drag this above this blue box and delete the blue box. It'll delete whatever's in it as well. Now you have this. Now every time the bear bumps the triangle, it will play that sound. And there you go. And since it is at 100% invisibility, the bear is completely gone. It is not an object in your game anymore unless you make it visible again. Now let's make a button to respawn the bear. Go into objects and go to shapes or text, whatever you'd like, and select an object to respawn it. I'm going to use this circle. I'm going to put my circle down at this bottom, and I'm going to do, when game starts, I'm going to give it a pretty color, so I'm going to give it this nice purple color. So now our circle is this color. Now let's do this. Now go over to the bear and click when is tapped. When my iPad is tapped, click my iPad and select your object that you had. Mine is a circle. And go over to set invisibility to 0. I'm also going to make it so it plays a sound with it. So I'm going to click start sound and I'm going to have this sound. Make sure this is 0 and now it should work. And there you go. But the health doesn't increase again. We have to fix the health. So go to the health and do when it's tapped, circle. Make sure you do set and not increase, because if you do increase, they can basically cheat it out. I will show you what I mean. If you do increase by 100, see if they only hit it once with this, and then they respawn it, it gives it 150 health. then it goes to 250, and it can just keep going up and up and up and up and up. So that is something that we cannot do. So we must set it as set, because if we do set, it cannot increase, it cannot go over that number that we set it as. So now it is 100. And now it respawns. And if we hit it once and respawn it, it goes right to 100. That's how you do it. That's how you make a health bar for an object and a respawn button. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in any other Hopscotch tutorials that you guys would like to see. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye, guys.